All right, so we're moving on now to things happening in the celebrity world, and one of which is the recent arrest of, let me say, get the name of this person, a TikToker who recently bagged 3 years imprisonment for cyberbullying an actress, Eniola Badmus. The Federal High Court on Wednesday sentenced a lady identified as Okoye Blessing Nwakego 3 years imprisonment for cyberbullying the actor. Justice Nicholas Owebo convicted Blessing after she pleaded guilty to the 2-count charge of cyberstalking. The judge, however, considered the convict's remorse and gave her an option of paying a fine of $150,000, which she opted for. According to the charge, Blessing, that's pretty much it. And the reason why this was important is because cyberstalking, cyberbullying is something we've talked about several times on this show. And whenever somebody gets convicted, it's important for us to remind Nigerians of the importance to ensure that they're not one of those stalkers, those cyber bullies online. It's an opportunity to discuss it again and hear your thoughts on it. You can call us on the numbers on your screen, 081-076-41679, 09024163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweet. Right. Hate speech, what's the other one now? All sorts of
reposting
online
a false story. So
fake
what did
stories.
This girl? She said that a friend told her about Eniola Badmus. And when she heard it, she now did a content about it on TikTok. You didn't verify the story. You don't have any proof of what you have just said. Then you posted it, and sadly, that particular post went viral. So Eniola tried to take it up and say that you cannot just defame me like this. You can't put this narrative outside. If I leave it, it will come across like it is true. And she was able to get justice in court. And I'm totally happy about how she went about it, because what we have seen is either they would take a police officer to the girl's house, or what we see is people would harass the person and say, kneel down and do a video confessing that what you did was a lie. We've seen that play out as well. But I like the idea of the celebrity took this to court and got a legal judgment on the matter that sets a precedent for others going forward, that don't try this. At least now, people won't just go on X to tweet. Yeah. They will not go on Thread and be... Yeah. I mean, all this social media is confusing.
So for me, I think that's the moral of the story, is that you can get punished for defaming someone or going online and posting a false story, perpetuating a false narrative, without any concrete evidence. And for me, that's a conversation we need to have more of. A lot of people believe that they can get on social media and say anything about anybody just for cruise. Sometimes some of them know that it's a lie, but they like the followership. They love the excited back and forth. That's what they are doing it for. And while they get their high, the person's reputation that they have, it means nothing to them. And that person has to now go through the process of trying to defend themselves against a milling crowd of trolls and haters. And, many times we've talked about regulating social media. And a lot of people thought, it's about gagging. It is not about gagging. It's about making sure that when people put a story out about you, that they are sure of what they are saying, they can stand in the court of law and defend it. And if they know that they cannot, then they best be careful not to put out anything that they cannot defend. And also, I feel that it's giving a lot of people hope, knowing that I can get justice when someone does this to me.
But this is rather fast.
Because sometimes you feel like they've said all this, what am I supposed to say? You hole up in your house and you're forever ashamed to bring your face out. But now you know that there's a process to go to get justice.
Some criticize that, there are so many other cases about rape that's taken forever. For some reason, this came out so quickly. I mean, this happened, I think it was this year. And she got justice. Like, is it that our justice system is finally changing, or she just used connections? I mean, people are just worried. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I think it's because of the severity of the matter. It's not a matter that they can be, dragging back and forth. And she had already accepted that she was guilty. The facts were there. So it was just easy for them to just sentence. There was no need for inside investigation. But I would also like to highlight the importance of moral decadence in our society, because this lady in question said she did it, she accepted to create this content because she needed to pay her house rent. You know, the guy that actually reached out to her to give her this scoop for the content creation said, okay, if you would do this against this guy, then I would give you money to pay your house rent. And this goes to show what people would do, the extent they would go to slander or even, you know, do rituals, you know, kill, rob, just because they want to be comfortable. Yeah. We really, really need to rejig our moral system and make people understand that your values first before your pain or whatever you're going through, because that is what will stand the test of time.
Thank you so much. Let me take this call. Good morning. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning. Elder Daria Debando from Kaduna again.
Morning.
It's rather unfortunate that our moral compass in this society has gone missing. What do you gain by bringing down your brother or your sister? Does that add anything to you personally? Why don't you verify your information before you make it public? Where has the spirit of being a peacekeeper gone through in this country? It is rather unfortunate. Thank God that the law, the long arm of the law, has caught up with this person. I hope people that have the same intention will really put themselves in check. Please, let's be our brother's keeper. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Dari. So, I mean, we've seen bloggers who have gotten away with this so many times. I mean, for me, this little girl, this young lady look like the easiest one, the easiest target. Yes, I'm not saying that what she did was right, but it was a bit easy to catch this one. But there's some main bloggers that cook up stories, come up with stories that cannot be verified, and they've defamed people. And we're not seeing lawsuits. We're not seeing them being justice being served. Many people people have feel defamed already online. So maybe sometimes people will just feel like, let this be equal, let this be even up. Let's ensure that everybody also is brought to book.
What you're seeing is a lot of people will think that, okay, I will just let it die down. And that's why they're able to get away with it. Many people don't want to really get into the case of going to court and coming back and trying to prove the case. They look at it and say, you know, the easiest thing is to let it will take maximum 2 weeks if it's so bad, and we can move on with our lives. And that is what empowers them. So sometimes the scapegoats, like this little fry, is what we use as scapegoats, as an example. And but the bloggers understand that many, especially in Nigeria, we have that culture. We don't really want to stress ourselves to do this. But I just also feel that maybe even if a Nigerian can just go and make a report, that we have a system that can take it up, you know, and we will see more of that. I've seen abroad, especially in America, like blogs, big blogs that people follow, who have made this sort of terrible mistake. There was one recently who had said something about Cardi B. This is a blog that everybody goes to and listens to. But she was dragged through the courts. It took them a while, but this person decided, Cardi B decided, I want to make an example of her. And she was asked to pay so much money that she could barely afford, you know, that she could hardly afford. And it's good to be able to do that. It's not just for even social media trolling and fake news, but for some of the many things that even happen at work, at home. Someone comes into your house as a staff, he does something, but you say, better just let this person just go, I beg, I don't want the stress. And then the person goes and does it to someone else because nobody reported to the police or tried to get involved.
So I have a call from Oyin, is calling from Ikeja. Thanks for calling, Oyin.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I want to talk about this Eniola issue. It's a fantastic one. And I wish she didn't get an option of 150,000. I wish it was made to serve her 3 years of straight. Maybe that will teach people that when you're dealing with people's lives, you should be careful. It might be Eniola today, and I'm happy she went for it. There are lots of blogs that people in Nigeria now live on gossip. I wish people can just go after, government can just go after people like this government and the rest. Even if somebody is doing things, to deal with people's private lives, can they be? We now live every day. People go on social media and read about people's gory things, and they live through it. I don't understand that people on the other side, like they are trooping. Even when they are saying real life, they are not even lying. The blogs are lying. Them, their private life, for God's sake. That girl should be allowed to sit at 3 years. She should learn a lesson. Then the other part of the husband and wife, I know you've gone over that discussion. The pastor thing, for crying out loud, it's before you got married, you should know the person you got married to. You shouldn't have to say, my pastor said, oh, I want to tell you and all of that people do. I remember when I used to get married, a guy told me he saw it, he dreamt, or God told him. I mean, even when I was young, I was very opinionated. I told him point blank, without even, I said, Uncle, if God wants to talk, I didn't even have to quote the Bible. God will tell me by mistake. God will tell somebody else. God will have to. If I God know my mistake, Uncle, don't bring it. You're not even close to it. And I don't care about what the future is. At that point, I was talking. I'm not going to enter my brain and be thinking my brain anyhow. That was it for me. There was no, and I'm happy where I am today. I'm not thinking about it.
Thank you very much.
Please, I want to say something about the bullying story and the lie. So she posted the content, and the video got 3 million views.
That's it.
Of course, it was a good offer. Yeah, it was a good offer. It was she made money at the moment, and there are many blogs that take stories like that in exchange for money. They will do the content and post it, and some overlook it. There was a post by Babyface recently. I think it was this week or over the weekend, about interviewing Stella Damasos, and he had to turn off comments on the video. People didn't watch the entire video, and they were insulting her all through the comments. People had made their opinion, and they just saw the brief video and were now judged what she said. So he posted another one where he gave more detail about how she feels, how she deals with the stories, and she was like, she went on social media, she found out that she was now divorced. Later, she found out she was husband snatcher. Later, like, she has seen all sorts, and sometimes she would just cry. And then somebody would now come and tell her that, why you, like, we know you. We know it's not true. But, like, millions of people believe it is true. She's never chosen to do a lawsuit. But imagine the trauma that you are putting people through, putting children through, putting the person through, the reputation going forward. People might not get acting roles. People might not, they will say, what we've heard about this person. I beg, I don't want this kind of person on my set. So the things that we are doing and putting online is having huge impact on people's lives. My pastor did something many years back, and they felt it was unusual for a pastor to do that. People duplicate, they fake his books and CDs and messages and sell it. And he caught someone and took them to court. And he came to church and he said, I took the fake publishers to court because they've been doing this for too long, and we cannot just keep saying, be your brother's keeper, be praying about it. There's a legal structure. Let them go to court and face it.
Let me take Larry from Abuja. Thanks for calling, Larry.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I think it's a good development in the right direction, because these days a lot of people hide away from going to court when they are being bullied. And I think we should start brightening our minds to take other people to court when they abuse our rights. Kudos to Eniola for doing this. This is a good legacy, because some people think they can just do anything online and go away with it. It's not fair. Even this thing is rampant among the so-called actors and actresses, bringing themselves out and trying to do something that they will tarnish the image of their family, even tarnish the image of their profession. If you can start it on this note.
Thank you, Larry, for your comments. There was a TikToker who also was arrested by the police for using an underage kid for something. I can't remember that. He made the underage kid do something. I can't remember what it was. He's been arrested right now?
Yes,
it was a prank. It was a prank, but you see, so that's part of the irresponsibility that we do, that we show. In trending, and that's the pressure to trend. You get fake stories, the pressure to trend. You don't realize that you're using an underage child, or even you realize you don't care. You know, you don't want it to just, you want it to trend. So so we need to really regulate. We need to regulate this somewhat. You know, in the early days when we were talking about regulating, everybody carried placard. How they want to gag us. But now we are seeing that there's a need for it. So maybe now we are ripe enough for a proper regulation.
No, but there's
social
something
media.
Nima said that time, that we didn't need to do social media regulation because we had laws that were already in place to sue you for defamation, libel. we can use those, even in the case of social media, that's what they've done now. This is not based on any social media rule. This is just saying that you put out a comment about me that is false.
Even the conversation, they dare not have that conversation at the time. Remember, if you say anything about regulating social media,
Yeah.
it will be, I have a point I wanted to make.
Please.
Now, after we have talked about the bloggers, let's talk about the consumers of this story. All of us.
We love the gist.
I have seen people who would go and attack one person for something. How dare you, how dare you, how dare you, how dare you? Call, and then there's some people who get so personal and call your ancestors will be this and that and that and that, insult you and everything. They go to another story, the same scenario, but it's a different person. And that same person is, hailing you, yes. I'm like, who are these people? Are you normal? Are you okay? Are you thinking it through? Or you find someone, the video you just talked that we're talking about, 3 million views. Who are these people? What are you enjoying watching someone say lies and negative stories about somebody? You, like everyone else, you have played a part. The reason why stories like that trend is because you are consuming it and enjoying it. And then now that she has been called out, everybody is now a common sense person. Yes, I'm happy that but you were there hailing her.
Yeah.
Hello, what's happening here? So we need to be careful. See, social
We
media,
the people.
I never fall for the praise or for the criticism. You keep it as far world away from me.
I have a caller that comes to you, Damola. Good morning, are you there? Okoye, thanks for calling.
Okay. So I'm all.
Good morning, you're live.
Somebody just said the same thing about my daughter in the school. And my daughter neglected it. I never wanted it, but immediately I saw this girl I was penalized. I had to call so that I'll call her to even come and shoot the girl for him or her. She has assassinated her image to the university.
Okay, somebody did it to his daughter. Okay.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
so thank you. That's just my own.
Okay, Mr. Okoye, it's not very clear. I'm not really sure what he said.
No, I think he mentioned like somebody did it to his daughter or something.
Okay, want to say something, Damola?
Yes, I was going to respond to what Miriam said about some people hailing when this news go viral, and there are other people that would
Be jumping from blog to blog.
Yeah, it's important to note that social media opinion is quite divided. There's still some people, while there are a lot of people that do not use their common sense to judge matters, there are still a lot of people who actually apply their brains to say that, let us look at this matter holistically, I'll be sure we are not being biased and all of that. But my point now is about the people who actually love to cyberbully. I think it's just about the whole concept of misery loves company.
Yep.
They are miserable, they don't have anything to do with their lives, and then when they see a story break about a certain celebrity that seemed successful, and then say, so it's a man that has been financing you, this, da. If it's easy, you say, go do it. Let a man finance you and see if you would be that
successful.
Let's take a final caller on this. Kelechi from Shasha, then we'll wrap up on this. Good morning, Kelechi.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Very clearly. Go ahead, please.
Okay, please, I want to commend the government for her opinion. She has said something very, very important for us. The issue of spiritual manipulation. You see, it has killed our families too much. You see, and it will continue as long as religion continues to exist in our lives. It will continue. So that's aside. Number two, I want to ask, what happened to that cyberbullying of BC? We didn't hear the last of it. What happened to it? Number three, please, Moran, I want to suggest something to you. Please, is it not possible for we religious believers to investigate who we call God? Is it the wrong thing? Take it as a hot topic. I will be happy to hear the views of your lady. This is very important.
Thank you very much, Kelechi. I'll go on a break. When we come back, we'll discuss this issue of spiritual manipulation. Is it God speaking or is it spiritual manipulation? And can we tell the difference when God is actually speaking versus when we are being manipulated? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.